It was March 9th, 1996, and India was facing Pakistan in the crucial ODI World Cup quarterfinals in Bengaluru's Chinnaswamy Stadium. Chasing a stiff target of 288, Pakistani openers were thrashing Indian bowlers at 84 for no loss in 10 overs and eyeing an easy victory. In the 15th over, stand-in Pakistani captain Amir Sohail spanked pacer Venkatesh Prasad through covers for 4. Then cockily sledged Prasad, gesturing with his bat as if to say, "Go get the ball, I will hit you there again." This fired up the normally docile Prasad, who out of character gave him an angry stare and went back to his bowling mark to let his ball do the talking. All fired up, he came running in faster than he had ever done before in his career and delivered a peach of a delivery that shattered Amir Sohail's stumps. Now it was Prasad's turn to give him marching orders, pointing him to the dressing room as if to say,
"Go back to the dressing room."
That was it. Pakistan lost momentum so badly afterwards that they eventually lost the match by 39 runs. Enraged Pakistani fans emptied guns into their TV sets, and some, unfortunately, took their lives. Mullahs started calling them turncoats, traitors. It was so chaotic that the house of their captain Wasim Akram was attacked with stones and rotten eggs. And when the team returned home, they had to do so in secrecy so as to avoid getting targeted by an angry mob of fans. Reportedly, their board went to the extent of doing an internal investigation of match fixing, but nothing was ever found. The Indo-Pak cricket rivalry is always intense, but this was probably the most intense match they ever played. While India has not toured Pakistan since 2006 and the last bilateral series was hosted by India in 2012-13, the only time they now meet is at international competitions. However, today's youngsters may not know that there was another 16-year freeze in cricket from 1962 to 1977, during which time 2 wars were fought between the two countries. To reset the relationship, the cricket-crazy Pakistan President General Ziaul Haq and the then Indian Prime Minister Morarji Desai came together to start the Goodwill Series in 1978. The first ever 3-match bilateral ODI series held in Pakistan was tied at 1-1 apiece. In the third match, India was cruising to victory with Anshuman Gaikwad and Gundappa Vishwanath at the crease, needing just 23 runs of 18 balls with 8 wickets in hand. That's when Mushtaq Mohammad, Pakistan's skipper, got scared of the repercussions if he lost and sent his wicketkeeper Wasim Bari to stand as far back as possible right at the edge of the inner circle line, and instructed his pacer Sarfraz Nawaz to bowl only bouncers. Bouncers which went so high above the batsman's head that they couldn't even touch it, and which landed straight in the wicketkeeper's gloves far behind. After 4 such balls, the aggrieved non-striker Gundappa Vishwanath appealed to umpire Shakur Rana. "Arey Janab, this is a big wide. Why aren't you calling it?" In the days before neutral umpires, Pakistan's umpires were always in their players' pockets, as losing at home was unpardonable. Umpire Rana just smirked. "Tell your captain to send a taller batsman." The Indian batsman refused to continue and play came to a halt. India's captain Bishan Singh Bedi came out of the dressing room to talk to his counterpart and good friend who was fielding at the boundary line. "What's this drama, Mushtaq?" But Mushtaq chose fear over friendship. "Show us if you can play fast bowling." This angered Bedi so much that he took a drastic decision. "Anshu, Vishy, come back. We are done in this match." And for the first time ever in cricketing history, any team forfeited an international match. The PCB secretary, Colonel Rafi Naseem, even came to the Indian dressing room to cajole the players. "Please, let's continue. These are just small things." Even the Indian team manager, the Maharaja of Baroda, Fateh Singh Rai Gaikwad, tried to talk to him. "Kaptan Sahab, it's about political goodwill as well." But Bedi was already miffed because he had been repeatedly denied genuine appeals during the series, where the umpire taunted him instead. "The only dismissal you will get is a bold and nothing else." And Bedi was a no-nonsense guy who never took bullshit from anyone. "Here is your captaincy. Morarji bhai ko bata do and let him decide." However, beyond the on-field rivalry, most players shared good times and friendships off the field. Even the boards of the two countries acted in tandem when Pakistan supported India to form the Asia Cricket Council in 1983. This happened after a fuming BCCI president NKP Salve met the Pakistan cricket chief Air Marshal Noor Khan. "Noor bhai, these British still think they are our colonial masters." and narrated the incident where he was denied tickets at Lord's during the ongoing 1983 World Cup in preference of MCC members. Then with their combined strength, staged the next World Cup in 1987 together, taking it out of England for the very first time. Even when relations turned frosty later on, players from both teams came together as one team in a friendly match in support of Sri Lanka, who had suffered a dastardly terrorist attack just before the 1996 World Cup. As far as performances of both teams go, each team has had a period of dominance over the other. India dominated in the first half of the 1980s, beating Pakistan in the 1985 World Championship final. And despite being skittled out cheaply for 125 in the Rothmans Cup by Imran Khan, Kapil Dev led with inspiration to get them all out for a paltry 87. However, things drastically changed after Javed Miandad's six of the last ball in the final of the 1986 Australasia Cup, where Pakistan won a thriller. It was such a severe psychological blow for the Indians that they consistently lost to Pakistan for many years after that, especially in Sharjah. What made more news there, however, was the flaunting presence of Dawood Ibrahim, India's most wanted gangster at the stadium. The audacious Don even entered the Indian locker room once in Sharjah.
If you guys win the tournament, I will give each of you one brand new Toyota.
Kapil Dev was livid at the imposter's intrusion.
Who the hell are you? You are not allowed to be here. Get out.
A year later, even at the height of Operation Brass Tacks, where 400,000 troops, about half the Indian army, was stationed along the Pakistan-Rajasthan border, Pakistan still sent its cricket team to India for a series during Feb-March 1987. But the real reason seemed to be that Pakistan President Ziaul Haq wanted to use it as an excuse to meet his counterpart and reduce the tension. But tensions increased soon enough when Kashmir became volatile, and increasing militancy once again stopped bilateral cricket for another decade. They then met for the first time in World Cups in 1992 when India's nemesis Javed Miandad once again stood in front of them. But every time he missed a ball, India's veteran keeper Kiran More took him on by aggressively jumping and appealing, "How's that?" And irritated Miandad retorted by jumping around More in a hilarious imitation. But the damage was done as Miandad lost concentration and the match. An aging Miandad tried to repeat his magic in the 1996 World Cup, but failed miserably in what turned out to be his final ODI match. Blamed for the defeat, his own team never gave Miandad a farewell, and it was Gavaskar who called him into the Indian dressing room for a small celebration. Venkatesh Prasad was again the hero of the 1999 ODI World Cup, taking India to victory with a 5-wicket haul. This match was played in the shadows of Kargil, where Indian soldiers were chasing away Pakistani intruders out of Tiger Hill. By the 2003 World Cup, the Vajpayee-Musharraf bonhomie had helped calm down India-Pakistan relations. Yet, leading up to the match, the pressure on the legendary Tendulkar was so much that he couldn't sleep at nights, and instead practiced his shots in the darkness. During the innings break in the match, Sachin sat aloof, listening to music with a huge bowl of ice cream in front of him. So focused was he on the match that he refused even to have a conversation with Sourav Ganguly, his captain. Nahi dada, aaj nahi. The focus paid off as Sachin smashed Shoaib Akhtar for 18 runs in his first over, and India won by 6 wickets. 2004 saw an Indian team going to a historic tour of Pakistan after 15 years and winning both Test and ODI series. Visas were given freely and as many as 55,000 Indian fans crossed the Wagah border. Similar to 1952, when thousands of Pakistani fans came to India on their first tour here. India's run continued when MS Dhoni led the team to victory in the finals over Pakistan in the 2007 T20 World Cup. But then came the November 2008 Mumbai attacks, after which India has never toured Pakistan again. The 2011 ODI World Cup in India served as yet another excuse for the Pakistani Prime Minister to come here and diffuse tensions. In an unintended consequence during his visit to the stadium, the team's food truck got stuck behind tens of TV broadcast fans outside the stadium, forcing the Indian team to enter the match hungry while batting first. Once again, it was Tendulkar who rose to the occasion. "Let's fill our stomachs with Pakistani wickets and runs," leading the team to victory with a fine knock of 85 against the likes of Saeed Ajmal. In World Cups at least, it has been a one-way street of victories for India. Virat's century defeated Pakistan in the 2015 World Cup and Rohit's 140 in the 2019 tournament, making it 7-0 in World Cups in India's favour. The previous generation of players were probably more under pressure when facing Pakistan, leading to tensions in the field sometimes. But now, there is a healthy respect and fondness for each other. Virat enjoys a bromance with Babar Azam, and Shaheen is seen giving cute gifts to the new dad Bumrah. With India-Pak meeting only in international competitions, the more prominent rivalry now it seems is with the Australians. So will it be 8-0 this time, or will Pakistan pull one back and try to reclaim their place as India's primary rivals? Bisbo's limerick, foes on the field and friends of it, is the nature of sports and is proper and fit. A healthy respect can never be wrecked by twisted minds whose aim is to split. You will also find these sources listed in our video description section.